Square root and cube root. In today's lesson, we will look at what a square root and cube root is. Well, before doing that, let's remind ourselves about square numbers and cube numbers because they have a very special connection to square root and cube root. And without understanding what a square number is or a cube number is, you will not be able to work out the square root. Okay, so square number. A square number is the answer you get when you times a number by itself. So for example, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 is a square number because 1 multiplied by itself is 1. Then 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is also a square number because 2 times 2 is 4. We could do 6 times 6, which is 36. 36 is a square number because 6 multiplied by itself is 36. So that is a square number. Okay. Now, when you draw them out, they make a square. That's the most important bit about it. So you've just got the number 1 here. Okay, 1 times by itself is just 1. The next one, 2 by 2. So you've got 1, 2 there, and then times by itself, 2 there. So 2 by 2. Okay. The next one, 9. Okay. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. When you times them by itself, there you are. So 1, 4, and 9. Okay. Now let's have a look at square root then. Now you find a square root by finding what number multiplied by itself gives the value. Okay. So for example, let's use this one, square root of 36. So to work out the square root of 36, you need to do what number do you multiply by itself to get 36? Well, the answer is 6, isn't it? Because look, 6 times 6 is 36. So the square root of 36 is 6. The square root of 4, what number did we multiply by itself to end up with 4? It was 2. So the square root of 4 is 2. Let's do another one. Square root of 81. So what number do we multiply by itself to end up with 81? It's 9. So you need to be able to be very familiar with your multiplications. Obviously, without that, you will struggle to work out what number do you times by itself and etc. Let's do one more. Square root of 25. So which number do you multiply by itself to get 25? The answer is 5. Okay. Now let's have a look at cube numbers. So a cube number is a number that you multiply by itself 3 times. So some examples, 1 cubed means 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 9. So that's a cube number where you multiply by a number by itself 3 times. Okay. So obviously, if this was a diagram, 1 cubed, obviously it's 3-dimensional now, isn't it? I'll draw myself a little cube here. It's 1 by 1 by 1. Okay, 1 times 1 times 1. Okay. If I was to do 2 by 2, so I'm going to do this. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And obviously this is also going to be like that. Okay. Okay, so obviously it's 2 by 2 by 2, and you can see there will be 8 boxes here. Okay, and so on. Now to work out what the cube root is. So cube root is the opposite of a cube number, just like the square root is opposite of the square number. It is a number which, when multiplied by itself 3 times, gives that number. So for example, the square root of 125. What I'm looking for is which number do I times by itself 3 times, has to be the same number to end up with 125. The easiest way, you can use a calculator or you can just try different numbers. The answer is 5. 5 times 5 times 5 is 25 because 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Let's have a look at another example. There, forgot to add the cube there, cube root of 125. Notice that the square root did not have a number 3 on it. The cube root of 8, again, which number do I times by itself 3 times to end up with 8? We've already done this above, it's 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Let's do another one. The cube root of 216. So which number do I multiply by itself to end up with 216? And the answer is 6. Okay, so that was the definition of square root and cube roots. Okay, thank you for watching.